Greetings everyone, this is Meshmen Studio and the Mori channel, and yeah, this is the second time me attempting this. Yesterday I had some technical difficulties with the streaming, so I have to postpone this for today, and yeah, I wish you welcome. If you see this on the rerun, consider subscribing to my channel. It's about VFX, cinematography, texturing, look dev, Renderman, and Mori in particular, because that's what's close to my heart. It's been one of my favorite tools for a long time now, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of texturing and stuff. So before we dive into what I'm gonna take a look at today, I want to talk about some backstory. It's materials now. That's something. It's gonna be a new venture. It's gonna be both live streams and offline tutorials, and I'm gonna briefly look at Mori 4 and the new texture sets and the Megascan tab, and that's gonna be a whole tutorial about this workflow later on. So this is just gonna be briefly about the new product that's in Mori 4 beta. It's open beta right at the moment, so you can try it yourself. And yeah, Megascan. What is it? Let's take a look, and first dive into Mori. So here's the new Mori 4 interface, and damn good coffee and hot. So we have something new here in Mori 4 down here. It's called texture sets, and it doesn't look very interesting when we look at it at first sight, because it doesn't ship with anything. So that's what we need Megascan. So we can see there's a tab here called Megascans in the texture set. So I hope this is a sign for the future, what's gonna come into Mori. For example, I would like to see more material-based workflow, because in my day-to-day work, setting up everything is kind of a pain. So I would like to be able to streamline the texture workflow a little better, and the texture sets is hopefully a way to do that. So we need to fill this area here with something, and the texture set is Megascan is there a strong point. So let's dive into that, and let's go to their site here. So Quixel Megascan, they are located in Sweden, I guess, and I'm from Sweden because it's .se, and see a lot of Swedish name on their forums and stuff. So yeah, it's probably a mix of people behind it, not only Swedes. So the Megascan library is a texture sets library with scanned real-world materials, and up to now there has been a lot of let's take a look here where we can see some of the pictures made by this. So it's both 3D assets and also scanned materials, and scattering objects to make worlds, materials. And yeah, look, it's even the Jungle Book. It's so yeah, it's very interesting. There's coming integrations to different platforms as well. So let's go to library, for example. So Megascans and Quixel gracefully sponsored me with a few scans so I can download. I have already downloaded a few of them, and I see they've even added new here recently since I was in here the last time. This looks really cool. So if we look at this one, for example, the inner goat skin here, let's take some of these as like store them. They end up in my favorites folder, so I can download these. So let's dive into this let's take this and this one as well. So it's 1 point to download. This is 4K, and I think you buy subscriptions and you can top it up and do stuff. So I have I can download up to 8K in the test account I got from them. So let's try here and see what happens. And it starts with access. And here we go, now it's downloading. And then we have a studio software that's interesting, because when you have downloaded your Megascans or your scans, so it's like a texture set, you get bump, displacement, normals, specular roughness, and everything is synced. So when you apply it, it will look like this, really good. You can tweak your scans in a proprietary software that they supply called Megascan Studio. So we're gonna take a look at that, and that's what I will bring into Mori later. So I just gonna briefly hook up my library so we can see it in Mori first, and then we can jump into actually tweaking a material. So I have downloaded this now, and it's in my download folder. So I have another, we can put this, copy it into my directory. I can do it later actually. Let's jump into Mori and see now. So what you do with the Megascan, you unzip the folders, and then you get to a location where you want your Megascan library to exist. And then in this set path dialog here. So I'm just gonna briefly tell how to set up the library, and I'm gonna deal with the actual using the library in an offline tutorial. So this is gonna mostly be about the Megascan software, so we can tweak it this time. So I have my NAS drive, and I guess you would have this on a network drive if you're in a facility. But here at home I have a smaller NAS drive, and I have my globals where I have like textures and stuff that I use, HDRs. It's like a repository. So I have this Megascans there, so let's choose that one. And now go to texture sets. And we see that it starts to populate with the scans I have already downloaded. So now we can get this into Mori. But that's gonna be for my next offline tutorial, how to actually use it in Mori. I just wanna show you that once you download it and unzipped everything to the A location, you can set it up in Mori 4. And this is available in open beta. I think we are getting close to release, I don't know. Looks like it. So yeah, this is something that we were all gonna use later on. So first off, just close this. Let's save this. Close Mori. Let's open Megascan Studio, and let's try a let's create a new project here and call it Alien Rock or something. Let's see, new asset, and let's say working resolution. Let's try 4K metalness. Create. So we get greeted by this. Let's maximize it. We get greeted by this interface. So it's a plane, and we can now start to load your scans here. So these are the ones I've downloaded so far. So as you saw, I downloaded a skin one there. So let's see here. This is kind of, I just started to use this program, so I'm fairly new to it. So it was this one. So if I copy this zip file and place it, I have when you set it up here, let's see, preferences. So I have a download path there. I put all my zip files, and I have supplied a place where it's gonna extract them to. So let's see if this works. Should work. So this is something you set up when you start your program first time, but you can change it as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, my projects and my repository, global texture. So this is my place where I have all my zip files. So creature skin, we know how it looked like. Let's see, I'm not really sure. I think I actually have to let's save this. I think it looks at it when I open it, so let's restart this now and see what happens. Let's try this one. Oops. Select asset, open. Okay. Let's redo this. I'm not sure what I did there. So we're exploring this now together. And yeah, I think that was the one. The goat skin. And Nala is on her best. Let's see. So there we have some kind of skin thing going there. Can start to offset, rotate, repeat. How many repeats? So we could start now to blend different materials here. Let's go here and zoom out to see what we have. Then we can make this even a bigger tileable. Let's do something here and just add a second. Let's take something that looks a little organic, this leather thing here. So now it's gonna blend. Then we have the threshold here, how like it's gonna blend with the displacement. So if I now start to introduce, like we have the two mask it from below and from above. So it's above, it's more like almost like snow, something that's come from on the high points, I guess. And from below, it's more like protruding the surface in a way. We can mess with the amplitude here on the noise, so we can do all kind of interesting things here with this. So this is cool. And we can also actually blend the albedo on this one. So we can get, for example, we can grade the leather fabric here to match the underlying one. So what you can do here, go to PBR and set albedo. So this is what what the scans is consisting about. We have a map that's very super flat. We have the cavity, so this is for gaming, I guess. Gloss. We have roughness, so this is more when you offline render, you're gonna use roughness. Normal map. Displacement. Occlusion. And metalness. So I guess when you want to grade the actual albedo, you go to reflectance here and take the albedo, and then you can start to get it into line to, if you want to do something so it looks like it's the same material. And then let's go back and see your PBR here. Then it's gonna look like something. It's gonna be something more interesting there. And let's mess with the radius as well. Let's take something else here. Let's try this one. See, what should we do? This one, the freaky skin type thing there. I want to have something bigger maybe, and let's try and blur it from above, or incorporate it from above. So now we're starting to get something that looks kind of strange. So yeah, I guess you can play with the tile levels here and create something. And once you're happy, you can export this. I was trying to actually incorporate this back into Mari. I couldn't really get it to work. I could export everything. I got the files needed. But I couldn't figure out the way. I think something was missing. So let's take a look at what's actually is inside the Megascans. So my assets, this is where I exported my surface. So I made Meshmen rock here earlier, and when you export it as a material, you get this. You get a JSON file, and this is something that's also is living. So this is the one that here has all the funky names. This is the one that I've downloaded from the Megascan. So I'm gonna see if I can get some answers from Foundry with the actual bridge. And they have a JSON file, they have a preview file that I also got. This one. This is the preview for one of their scans, and here's all the materials needed. So I'm not sure why it didn't pick up when I placed it in the same location. I guess maybe, yeah, have to figure that out still. But I mean, I can still load it as images, so it's not gonna be a problem. But it will be nice to be able to take scans, tweak them, blend some of them together, and then incorporate it back. So we have different lighting conditions here, and the snow one. And today's coffee is actually from Australia. It's very good. So yeah, let's take some of them. Let's delete and just look at some of them on their own. Let's take something like a rock or something here. That's gonna be interesting to see. And the repeat. So I guess when you like all tile level materials, you're gonna see a repeat if you go really far out. So that's why you need a few of them, and maybe do some difference in the when you go really close up here. It's starts to look really cool. So I guess when you start to, let's take a rock with some moss on it or something. So what I will do in Mori, for example, is to maybe take the rock and this one on its own, and then use mask to dial in where I need them. So I may paint stuff, use ISOs and masks in Mori to dictate where I want this to happen. And we also have other similar tools actually in the extension pack to blend these things together even in Mori, so that's cool. But we can see here it's let's pretend that there's moss living in the crevices here, for example. So this can be really nice looking. Let's just mess around here with the different sliders and see what we can get. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm gonna play with this and see. And as I said, I will do a more hands-on Mori related tutorial using these Megascans coming up. So first off, I will have a UI tutorial for Mori, and then it will be into Megascans. That's gonna come next after this. So yeah, yeah, and let's take a look at here. We have light intensity. Can rotate the light. Shadow resolution. Field of view. Can have a gradient or skybox. Can blur it as well. And then you can export your stuff out. You can choose up to 8K here. You can export to these formats, and here you check all the maps you want to export. Or you can do as I did, you can actually save as surface, and that was what I was trying to do, save as surface, and that created that folder I was talking about that I was trying to get into Mori, but I couldn't figure out. So I contacted Foundry and see if that's possible. I think it should be. I mean, it has the components, the ingredients. So I pointed it actually to this folder here as well. So I couldn't see why it wouldn't. If I look in the JSON file, it has similar things here going on. So I'm not sure what's needed to get this to work. And I hope it's something trivial, because it would be really cool to just export my alternative versions and use them in the texture tab, the material texture sets, and the Megascan tab in Mori 4. So yeah, but yeah, that's a very brief rundown of the Megascan Studio and the Megascan library, and I'm gonna dive into more hands-on texturing an asset with this type of library in Mori in upcoming episodes. So yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be it was a short live stream today, so let's take here let's take my end screen. So, and yeah, thanks for hanging out with me here, and if you see this on the rerun, expect more of these material based. It's gonna be a lot of material based things coming out. Gonna do some assets and looking at different ways to treat materials and look at materials, and both in shading and in texturing, examine materials in general. And yeah, so if you want to be part of this and my community, we have a lot of nice chats going on my live stream, so consider subscribing, and yeah, see you on the channel, and bye bye.